What's up, y'all? My name is JR, and for those of you who don't already know, I'm a huge movie and TV nerd. If you're new here, I appreciate you taking the time to check out my channel. I hope you consider sticking around and joining the film community I'm trying to build here on YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving my initial thoughts on the Apple TV crime drama, Dope Thief. And just so you guys know, this video will contain some mild spoilers, so if you haven't gotten around to watching this show yet and you don't want to know anything that happens in it, you might want to exit this video now. And with that being said, no more wasting time. Let's get into it. Dope Thief is an American crime drama television miniseries created by Peter Craig, based on the 2009 novel by Dennis Tafoya about two Philadelphia friends who pose as DEA agents to rob drug dealers facing the consequences of their actions when they steal from an organized narcotics operation under surveillance by the actual DEA. The miniseries stars Brian Tyree Henry, Wagner Moura, Marin Ireland, Amir Arison, Nesta Cooper, Kate Mulgrew, and Ving Rhames. The series premiered on Apple TV on March 14th of this year. And at the time of the making of this video, the series has an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes with no popcorn meter as of yet, because the series just dropped 2 days ago. The series has a Metascore of 73 on Metacritic based on 23 critic reviews with a user score of 7.2 based on 12 user ratings. And finally, the series has a 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb with almost 450 ratings. Now, I have to admit to you guys, I didn't even know this series existed until I saw it while I was surfing Apple TV looking for something new to watch. But once I read the log line and I saw that Brian Tyree Henry was starring, I was intrigued. Intrigued enough that I watched the trailer. And once I saw that, I decided to dive right in. And I'll start by telling you guys that I think this story is unusually unique, right? Through its compound premise. I always tell you guys, I think a compound premise is better than a basic premise any day of the week, right? And like I said, the story is a unique one that absolutely makes you interested to see how it all shakes out. And as the setup in the first episode, that being meeting the main characters and finding out what they do and who exactly it is that they care about, that they pose as DEA agents and essentially rob rival drug dealers, gives way to the catalyst, that being the two main characters robbing a drug operation under actual DEA surveillance and getting a few people killed in the process, right? You can feel the tension in this story unlike anything I've watched recently, right? Now, when Ray, and Manny stormed the meth farm along with Rick, who Ray likes to call Convict, the stakes continue to rise with every passing moment that they spend inside. I can't remember being on the edge of my seat like I was during that scene where the meth farm is catching fire and they're trying to find the money and figure out what to do about the murdered people and everything. That was a super tense moment, and I haven't seen anything quite like that in a good little while. But after they manage to rob the farm and make their escape, the voice that comes over the radio is ominous enough to continue that trend all the way until Ray is ultimately tracked down by members of the biker club and chased through the streets of Philadelphia. All the while, the thought of Ray's estranged and incarcerated father finding out that he's not only sick, but that he may at least be partly responsible for the mess that Ray is currently dealing with, just really like ups the ante in a way that I find extremely interesting, right? Now, I also want to say that Brian Tyree Henry is one of my favorite black actors. I love the authenticity he brings to the roles that he plays, especially when he embodies the everyman from the hood type, like he does in this show, right? Ever since I saw him in Atlanta, I kind of knew he had something special, and I believe that his talent shines through here greatly and brightly in this miniseries. The chemistry that he has with Wagner Moura, I think, is palpable, and I think that's what was needed to kind of make this show work, right? Frick and Frack kind of have to be, in sync to sell this idea, the best friend kind of, situation, and I think that they knocked it out of the park here. And I also love the work. I also love the work that Brian, Tyree Henry did in the first two episodes with both Kate Mulgrew from Orange is the New Black and my man Ving Rhames, right? The writing here, it feels really authentic, right? Conversational, which gives the show an even more authentic voice as the story moves along. I do think the show kind of had a rather bleak color palette, but I think it works well in concert with the circumstances of the main characters, right? It kind of makes you feel what they're going through. And the pace of the show moves along quite nicely, mostly, I think, due to the fact that this miniseries only has 8 episodes, so there's not a whole lot of time for dilly-dallying, right? So I can appreciate that. Now, overall, at least to this point, I give the series a 70%, or a 7.0 if you're thinking IMDb score, right? Now, moving forward, I'm looking forward to seeing Ray's father released from prison and watching Ray struggle with Teresa, his father's ex-partner and the woman who raised him after his father went into prison, caring for him, right? I'm also looking to see if Ray and his father's relationship, gets to a better place as he prepares to essentially watch his father die because, his father has cancer and it from what they're saying, it feels like it's terminal. And so this is kind of his last chance to kind of make things right with his dad, so to speak. And we see that he doesn't really get along with his dad, that he kind of resents his dad. And you see that in the scenes with Teresa, and also, when he goes to the prison to actually see if his dad is the one who ratted him out. You see kind of that relationship is really in dire straits, right? I'm also interested to see Ray try to keep his friends and his loved ones safe now that he and the biker gang that he and Manny stole from are at odds. And when you add on top of that the fact that the actual DEA will be looking for Ray and Manny as well, it lends you to understand that this story could end in a number of ways. Especially given that this is a miniseries and it was just 8 episodes in a season, all bets are off, right? Anybody could die, anybody can get it, right? Because there is no season 2, well, at least from what I'm led to understand at this point, there is no season 2. So this could even end with Ray biting the big one, you know what I'm saying? Or going to prison, or Manny or whoever, right? Now, I happen to think that this series has immense potential, right? Even though it doesn't look like it's getting the promotion that it truly deserves. I think this is the kind of show that is sure to gain viewership as it goes rather than lose viewership like a lot of shows do. Because though we're only 25% the way through the show, I haven't seen anything that would lead me to believe that we won't get the same level of consistency from the writers and the actors throughout. Again, as there are only 8 episodes, and when there's only 8 episodes, that means you probably got, I didn't check, but you probably got the same writers all the way throughout the miniseries. So that will help the show not fall off. You know what I'm saying? And again, that also means there's not a lot of time for the writers to mess things up too badly. And even if the writing were to, say, for example, fall off of a cliff in the episodes moving forward, I am highly confident in the ability of the cast that this show has to ultimately save the day. But what do you guys think? Have you seen the first 2 episodes of Dope Thief yet? If you have, what do you think of the show so far? Let me know in the comments. And for those of you that might be new to the channel, be sure to like and share this video. If you really like the content, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video. You can also now support the channel by leaving a super thanks. If you should be so inclined, I'd really appreciate it. Also, be sure to go and check out themadscreenwriter.com for more television and film reviews and info on my upcoming film projects. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got screenplays to write. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.